Is your name really David Porter?
David Porter live here in Miami. I found Dennis Porter. How you doing, man?
It's great to meet another Porter here in
Right?
Miami. Excited about it.
I was like, who is this guy? He's got to come on.
We might be family. We don't even know yet.
We don't know yet. We'll find out. Have you ever tested your ancestry?
We have done a little bit. So I've got some European background all over the place, some British, some German. I don't know if you got that there as well.
Yeah, we do. So.
Oh man, we're cousins. We don't know
we're
yet.
Cousins, man. Awesome. We're at Bitmain Tech's conference here in Miami, WDMS, and it's been quite a show. Great turnout. Yeah. And so, Dennis, what are you working on? What brought you here?
Yeah. So obviously myself, a big fan of mining. I was a home miner back in the day. But the reason why I'm going to these Bitcoin mining conferences now is because I launched an organization called Satoshi Action Fund. And so we're hyper dedicated to going on the offense for Bitcoin miners, and everything from home miners to large miners, industrial scale miners. And what we're trying to do is advocate for miners on the political landscape and the regulatory landscape, help ensure that the USA and Canada and North America is one of the friendliest places in the entire world to be a Bitcoin miner.
Interesting. And you hear the politicians from time to time, they have to do a little breakout, like, I don't know about that mining. It's doing something.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the political views maybe on either side?
Yeah, so I mean, you definitely have folks on both sides of the aisle who like Bitcoin and who see Bitcoin mining for what it is. They see it as a potential to add jobs, innovation, to be able to increase the energy innovation that's going on in this country, but also to enhance the grid. There's so many problems with the grid today that we experience that are going to be benefited by Bitcoin mining. So when I go, I'm on the state level, right? So when I go to different states, I talk to people on the left and the right, and then when I tell them that, jobs, innovation, grid enhancements, they're just like all on board. And so it's exciting to see, and we're excited as an organization to be kind of on the ground level, talking to these advocates, talking to these elected officials about the benefits of Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, very cool. So what do you see as the best energy source to use for mining?
It really just comes down to, what your perception is on energy. But for the most part, the industry is kind of moving towards a more clean and renewable energy sources. So I'm a big fan of renewable energy assets, but not just because they're green, they're also intermittent. And because of this intermittency, it helps miners to be able to come in and help balance the load and to soak up excess load, but also wind down when the grid has more demand and there's not enough supply. So love that. Also big fan of nuclear. I think we need to be going back to nuclear. I think that Bitcoin mining will drive more excitement around nuclear again and more focus on this, what should have been probably a dominant baseload energy asset for us for decades, but hopefully we'll see a return to it due to the incentives around Bitcoin mining.
Very cool. And so when did you first get intrigued and involved with cryptocurrency or blockchain?
Yeah, 2017, somebody told me about Bitcoin. I started studying it and researching it. And from there, I started reading Andreas Antonopoulos' books, listening to his speeches, and I was immediately hooked. And ever since then, I've just never stopped researching, learning about it, trying to figure out ways that I can get into the space, right? Because the moment we find out about Bitcoin or digital assets broadly, right after we find out about them, we're like, how can I work in this space? How can I get involved? How can I add value? And that's where I am now today. I finally figured out the way that I can add value to the space, and that's to advocate for miners, small and big, on the political landscape and the regulatory landscape to make sure that they have someone on their side that is going to be going to bat for them. What we really need to do is we need to be decentralizing Bitcoin mining out of Texas and out of some of these other strongholds into other states. And that's going to be the main focus of Satoshi Action Fund, is to help decentralize Bitcoin mining out of Texas by helping to make other states more like Texas, so there's a better places to do business outside of just the great state of Texas.
Are you based in Texas?
No, I'm not. I'm over in Oregon, but I'm in Texas regularly. Big fan of what's going on there, and decided to see where they go from here.
Yeah, very cool. So tell me more about this Satoshi program that you're doing.
Yeah, so Satoshi Action Fund is a nonprofit 501c4, and the intention of the organization, the core mission, is twofold. One is to decentralize Bitcoin mining out of Texas and other strongholds so that we can have a less attack surface on Bitcoin. And the other is to also integrate Bitcoin mining into the grid in such a way that removing it would become nearly impossible, right?
Yeah.
That is going to help to protect and defend Bitcoin mining in the long run, and because of that, will help protect and defend Bitcoin.
Wow, very interesting. So do you attend a lot of conferences?
Yep, I'm a regular conference attendee.
What do the next few months look like for you?
I think we have BitBlock Boom coming up in August, so that'll be a good one. I know there is a South Carolina blockchain conference that's occurring. We've also got the TBC conference in Texas.
Nice.
We're going to have a SWAN conference, Pacific Bitcoin Conference. That's going to be in November. There's another one in November. Oh, that's a TBC one in November as well. There's one in October as well in Switzerland, so going to be going there to talk about Bitcoin,
Very cool.
the benefits of Bitcoin. So it's a busy schedule. It's probably one of the busiest conference scenes in the country or in the world. So excited to be a part of it.
Very nice. How's your day-to-day go? Like, what do you try to achieve on a daily basis?
So Satoshi Action Fund is in building mode right now, and we are just building relationships with everybody in the space as much as we can. So that's building relationships with miners, building relationships with political folks, so those that are elected officials, but also advocacy organizations. Because even though we want to go around and help improve what's going on a state-by-state basis, we need these relationships on the state level where we can say, hey, you know we do good work, you like what we do, why don't we do this in your state? But if we try to just fly in and say to these elected officials, like, hey, pass this bill, they're like, hey, you're not from Louisiana, right? You're not from North Dakota. Go back to where you came from. Like, we want to talk to people who are living in a state that want to see this happen. So if you are in a state in the United States or maybe in Canada as well, and you're interested in pushing forward Bitcoin mining policy, like those are the main key relationships that we're looking for.
So are you gonna make any political moves in the future? Do you want to become an elected politician?
People always ask me that. I don't know. It's a tough game. It looks like a lot of fun until you start running, and then people beat you up terribly. So I don't know. I've got the thick skin for it, and I'm not shy in front of a camera, but
nice.
It's a tough call to make, right? Do you want half the country to hate you automatically the moment you start running, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they'll dig in and do as much as they can. So are you up to anything tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the Bitmain event here, and then we're going to have the showing. You interviewed her just a moment ago for the Dirty Coin documentary. It's a Bitcoin mining documentary, and we're going to focus on all the benefits of Bitcoin mining with that documentary. But there's a little teaser trailer we're going to do. And then on the 28th, I'll be speaking on a panel during the Mining Disrupt conference.
Oh, fantastic. We'll be there too.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So Dennis, I think I tagged your social media. Is there any other website or links people can get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can go to satoshiaction.io in order to check out what we're doing with Satoshi Action. We're also rebuilding our website from the ground up right now as well. That should be launching within the next month or so. You can hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are always open, and I try to answer them or look up them as much as possible. So at Dennis_Porter_ is the best place to find me.
Very cool. Dennis, thanks so much for coming on.
Of course. Cousin.
Dennis Porter, David Porter, Washington, that leads the world's greatest crypto conference coverage. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it.